Hi, everybody. I just wanted to go over the ideas behind writing an objective summary, maybe emphasizing how an objective summary in science class is different than you might have done in ELA. I know we've gone over this in class, but I just thought this might help you a little bit. The main things I want you to remember is that an objective summary, the purpose of it is to convey what the central idea of whatever it is that you've just read. It might be a textbook, it might be an article, it might be a magazine. You need to be able to, in a very short way, say what the main idea of that text is. You don't want to be burdened with trying to convey all of the detail because science writing is so full of details that it'll bog you down and your reader down. You want to be able to only convey the big ideas of what you've read, and that will really help in trying to organize the information in your head. You want to also, in an objective summary, make sure you use your own words. You don't want to copy the text. You don't want to have in-text citations. You don't want to have your own opinions about anything. You just are trying to summarize what the text has said. This is a graphic organizer that I think we're going to use. I think this will really help you in taking the information from the textbook into a graphic organizer, and in the process of doing that you'll put it in your own words, and then from this graphic organizer you can write the summary. And I think that process of making yourself go from the text to the organizer to the draft of the summary will really help you get clarity on what the ideas of the text are. So let's get to the mechanics of this. The very first sentence is an important sentence, and as we've talked about, you always want to mention the title of the text and who wrote the text. Sometimes that's a little tricky because if you're using a textbook, there might not be an author. In that case, you can just mention the publisher. You also want to have a verb in it, and that is here I've given you some good ideas, either shows, describes, explains, whatever you want to do. You want to name the text and then say this text shows, and then the third part of it is the central idea of the text. So this will make sure that you've mentioned all the important information from either the chapter you read in the textbook or the article. And this may be the hardest. This may be where you get together with other people who are reading the same thing you are and compare your first sentence to their first sentence and then go back to working on it by yourself. The next thing is that you want to do is you want to write 3 to 5 essential ideas. Now this is different than what we talk about down below here, where you pick the details from it. But most of the time, your textbook or your article are going to have subheadings, and those subheadings are the essential ideas. And then underneath each one of the essential ideas, you want to have a couple of details. That then helps you describe what each subheading was about and make sure you cover the whole article. So again, here's the graphic organizer, and what I want you to do is to use the ideas that I just talked about, create the organizer in your science spiral, and then start composing the draft of your objective summary. Once you've got your summary all drafted, you want to go find 2 peers somewhere in the room to help you check your work, and you want to ask them these 3 questions. Does the first sentence clearly explain the main idea of the text? Did it mention the name of the article and the author, and does it use the verb and the central idea that we presented? Second question is, does the summary reflect my own wording and not the text? Have them help you make sure that you're not using the textbook's words, but that you've taken the effort to put it into your own words. And then lastly, have them put the text that you're writing the objective summary right by your draft, and have them look and see, did I cover this subheading? Did I cover this subheading? And you may not have covered all the subheadings. If you didn't, then you should have a good idea. Oh, there were 10 and I'm only going to cover 5, so I didn't think that that was the most important one. So anyway, just make sure that you've covered all of the main information. And then using their suggestions, you want to go back, make the revisions to your draft, and then complete your final copy. Hope this has helped. And that's the objective summary in science class.